Cool. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Humanity Matters Live. I'm Mike McCutcheon. I'm sitting next to my co-host Annette Mendel and my host Albert Torcaso. And these guys they've had a pretty rough 2 days. You know, I give this man all the credit in the world for what he did. You know, the man actually risked his life saving 2 kittens. And anyhow, the hardest thing to do was we had to take them to a humane society, which was, but it's just everything that they went through to save these kittens. Me, myself, I would have just left the kittens there and left. That's what I would have done. They waited around until a vet tech came and, you know, they examined the cats. I'm just grateful that somebody like Elle found them cats, Elle. So, like, you know, it's like we're all animal lovers. I own 2 cats myself, and I'm sure enough a serious animal lover. And to see him go through what he went through today, I'm trying not to get emotional, but yeah, man, it was pretty rough. And they actually literally, you know, saved 2 cats' lives. And to me, those are living, breathing creatures. So to me, they're priceless, man. And what Elle went through today, you know, I wouldn't want to go through it. I really wouldn't want to go through it, you know. But anyhow, Elle has a lot of interesting topics to talk about today. Yeah. So before I say anything else, I'm going to turn it over to Annette.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike made a mistake. We actually took them to Animal Friends.
I'm sorry.
Animal Friends.
Okay.
So it'll be a few weeks before they'll be up for adoption. But yes, we did rescue 2 baby kittens yesterday, and it was very difficult sacrificing them.
Well, not sacrificing, giving them up.
Giving them up.
Which hurts.
And just let me tell you, Annette, like, whether you guys get these kittens or not, they're going to be taken care of. Elle, you saved their lives.
That's
the
true.
worst part is over,
That's
Elle.
true.
The
That's
worst
true.
part is over, Elle. You saved their lives, Elle.
Well,
Yes.
do you have anything else to speak about yet?
No,
Well, how about you say hellos? Who are our hellos to this week?
I forget.
Well, I want to say hello to
Kiera.
over at the Shop and Save, and the rest of the crew, Dave, and the rest of the crew over at Shop and Save, one of the local ones, which is a store here in Pittsburgh. For those of you watching around the world on the internet, Shop and Save is a grocery store chain that we utilize. So I want to say hi to our friends over there, and also other places. I want to say hi to the crew. They don't know I'm going to say it, but the crew at Big Jim's restaurant. I have to tell you, I had I will just say that it's a very enjoyable time and very good food. You didn't hear me say that, okay? But I'm just going to say that it's very good food, and you will not leave there hungry. But I also want to say hi to my sister, who's going to call in if she hasn't already. My other sister, Rose, who never gets a chance to watch.
I'll be catching the bus with her. I caught the bus with her the other day.
And also Shannon and Paul and a lot of my friends out there. And of course, I'm going to say hi to Luther. He better call in or he's going to be in trouble. So now I want to get to the pictures of these cats, these kittens. And you need to know why we gave these babies up. The main reason was this one right here, what do we name her?
Star Antoinette.
Okay, Star Antoinette. How do you pronounce it? Antoinette. And we gave her up because we were having a very difficult time to get them to drink and also to stimulate them to go to the bathroom. And frankly, we didn't want them to die. And so we gave her up, and it's hard. Aww. And then that's our other baby.
Sweet Angel.
Which is Sweet Angel. Both of these kittens, especially the one you're looking at now, the second you pick her up, she wanted to cuddle with you, and she wanted to go to sleep on you. And they were both probably 2 of the sweetest cats I've ever had. Kittens, cats, kittens. I got to tell you, It's extremely difficult. And I want you to know that we were not able to get them where we wanted to them be because of financial constraints also, because it costs a lot of money to take care of a kitten like that. But we're going to actually, and Annette's crying almost a little bit, it's hard. We're going to do our best when they're up for adoption to try to get them back, because I got to tell you, not having them, not being able to keep them, it's like, for me, it's like somebody's driving 3 or 4 steak knives through my heart. That's how hard it is. And I got to tell you, it's rough. But I want to say something about these kittens. I was driving yesterday, and I saw the black cat, the mother cat. And I stopped, talked to her to make sure she was okay, because she had just crossed this busy, dangerous street. And I got her to listen for a second, but then she got scared and she ran off. But before she ran off, the lighter colored kitten, you know, what is it we call her?
Sweet Angel.
Sweet Angel, yes, Sweet. She actually ran out in the middle of a very dangerous street, and without thinking, and I know this isn't smart, but without thinking, I literally went to get her. And I could have been hit. The car had to stop. I almost was, let's just say, taken down. But when it comes to animals or saving other people's lives, you know, I just don't play. I mean, I saved their lives. It hurts that they're gone. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to pray that we could somehow get them back. But if we can't, as long as somebody that's a good person gets them,
There you go.
that's what matters.
There you go.
It hurts. It hurts a lot
There you
because
go.
we stayed up with them all night. As a matter of fact, to tell you the truth, neither Annette nor I got any sleep in the last 20-some hours. So the fact that we're here doing this episode is pretty amazing, actually, because of the fact that we really didn't get any sleep. We're going on about maybe 25 hours with really no sleep.
Well, you can
Maybe
sleep.
30.
You can sleep good tonight, knowing
But,
them kittens are in good hands, Al.
Yeah,
How about that, Al?
I'll do my best.
How about
but,
that, Al?
But I want you to know, I appreciate that, Mike. But I have to tell you, what I did is normal for me.
Yes, I know that's a fact. That's
But
a fact.
also-
you got a big heart, Al.
Oh,
you
yeah.
got a huge heart, Al.
I do it for humans. I do it for
I know you would, Al. I know you
But
would.
I think it also has to do with integrity.
Nice.
And that's why I named this episode A Matter of Integrity. So right now at this time, I'm hoping we can get some callers to call in at 412-231-2288. That's 412-231-2288. And now comes the tough part of the show, the episode, the part where everybody's going to run around and hide. The matter of Brett Kavanaugh.
Brett.
Brett, whatever his name, Brett Kavanaugh. I say to the people of America, most honestly, the people I want to speak to now, before anybody else, I want to speak to all registered women who are registered Republican. I'm speaking to the Republican woman voter. Before I speak to anyone else, the Republican woman voter. And if I could speak to the women in the Senate of any party, I would urge you to vote no on the confirmation of Kavanaugh. And I would urge you to vote no for a million reasons. But principally, I watched clips of the hearings. And I witnessed how this supposed judge, and let me break this down for you, Republican women. This judge that will decide cases for 20, 30, or 40 years. And some of the cases that they will adjudicate can last a lifetime. Yours and your seventh generation or descendants. I'm talking about hundreds of years. I want to remind every American there are some cases that have been adjudicated and decided by the United States Supreme Court from the inception that still rule the land today. So the media on the left and the media on the right, often they'll say decisions from this court can last a generation or two generations. But that's actually, my friends, incorrect. Because the reality of it is there are laws and rulings that have been in place for as long as the Supreme Court existed that still are there today. There are some. And I have to ask Republican women, let us say that this man isn't guilty for a split second. Let's presuppose he's not. But should he treat the victim of assault and act as if the victim of assault, who's accusing him, I'm talking about Christina Ford, the first one, should he speak and have the anger and make the statements that he did? Make no mistake, women of America, Republican, Democrat, Independent, your lives will be limited if certain rulings come to pass. It will affect you. But if you are a Caucasian male, it will affect you as well. There will be cases that will affect you in a negative way. And I love the fact that there's so much partisanship here in this world, in this country. And the media on both sides try to make it like somehow these rulings won't affect in a negative way every American. There are rulings that will affect whether if you are accused of a crime, if you can be put to death. There are rulings that will allow, if the Obama Affordable Care Act was to be repealed, there are rulings that would allow companies to deny certain procedures of women for cancer of the ovaries and other areas.
I got something now.
Because, give me one second. Because under the insurance rules and regulations before the Affordable Care Act, women, you need to hear this. Before that happened, pregnancy was a pre-existing condition. Lives matter. So with that, we are going to answer the first call, and then immediately we are going to have Mike McCutcheon give his comment.
Okay.
Caller number 1, you're on the air.
Hi, Al. How are you today?
I'm feeling good. Who are you?
My name is Shannon. I'm a fan of your show. I've been watching for a few years.
All right.
I always enjoy the topics that you seem to tackle. Hello to you also, Annette and Mike.
Hi.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
So
Thanks for calling.
first I want to tell you, I think it's amazing what you've done to rescue those cats from potential harm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough. It's tough.
Yeah, I can imagine it was hard for you to give them up. But
Oh, boy.
like
it
I
was
was
hard.
hearing you say, in a couple of weeks, once everything's taken care of, maybe you could adopt them.
I'm certainly
know,
going
or-
to try. I'm definitely going to try. But the fact of the matter is, and that could have ended up without a guy because I almost got slammed by a car. But hey, forget about it. I'm in.
That's right. So the accusations, I want to talk about this a little bit. The accusations against Kavanaugh,
Right.
in my opinion, I don't think it can be taken lightly.
No, it shouldn't
You
be.
see in the media frequently things like this happening, like with Matt Lauer and Bill Cosby. And it needs to be addressed and investigated. And until then, he should not be eligible to to serve or be voted for or be on the committee or be a judge. He should not have that privilege.
That's what I wanted to basically.
Well, I will say this. He may be confirmed. But Shannon, I got homework for you.
Okay.
I got homework for America. If you want your life to be dramatically ruined by very extreme rulings over the next 10 to 40 years, then I ask you to do nothing. If you don't care about your life, please don't do this. But if you do, and I'm not cutting on anybody, if you do, I'm asking you, Shannon, and every American to call 1-202-224-3121 or 1-202-225-3121. And when you call,
That is the congressman's switchboard, correct?
that's the congressional switchboard.
Yep.
When you call, you can ask to speak to the staff of Jeff Flake, Senator Flake, Senator Susan Collins, Murkowski, I think it's pronounced, your own senators, which in Pennsylvania is Senator Robert Bob Casey and Pat Tooming. You can ask to speak to Senator Lindsey Graham, who was outrageous, unprofessional, and pathetic during the hearing. And I don't mind telling the truth, because I'm going to tell the truth, and people who don't like it, well, go home and cry. Because
That's
I'm
right.
going to tell it like it is. My name is Albert J. Torcaso, and Senator Graham is a disgrace for the way he acted. Now, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you call that number. And it doesn't have to be long. You just say, I would like to speak to the staff, leave them a message, put it as urgent, or speak to someone. And here's what I would say for all the women in America. If you believe Miss Ford or any of those women who accused him, I want you to imagine, how would it feel if you had been molested, raped, your daughter molested, raped, your children, maybe by so-called clergy, raped. And I want you to look in the mirror and say, because of your politics, you're okay with a person who may or may not have molested someone being on America's Supreme Court.
And that's
If
why
you
this
can say that-
accusation needs to be taken seriously.
If you, and not only that, but people that are molested tend to have depression, live shorter lifespans,
Suicidal.
and I believe I heard recently from a very good friend, the increase and potential increase for suicide goes up by 4,600%. 4,600% if you are molested. So let us presuppose that Ms. Ford was molested. Whether it was Kavanaugh or not, should we only have a narrow scope with the FBI, my fellow Americans, and letting any president, Republican or Democrat or Congress, should we let them just let it skirt it?
No.
But I want to go back in time, Shannon, for a second. I'm going to go back about 30-some years. Oh, I'm going to go back. We had a man who was accused of inappropriate sexual advances towards one Anita Hill. That man was Clarence Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, there were more Democrats, I believe, in the United States Senate. Yet this man, who may or may not have done what he did, has sat on the court now for about 25, 30 some years. So let me say this to the women of America. I don't give a rat's ear what your politics are. Do you want two potential molesters making decisions on every aspect of American life? Yours,
You know what?
your children, and everybody in between. And that's what is at stake. Let the media play their game on both sides. But what we're talking about is Shannon's life, Mike's life, Annette's life. And I
And, you
really
know, when
don't
you
care
see-
what you are.
When you see all these coming out, everybody they always deny the accusations
Exactly.
that are against
Yes,
them, and a
that's-
lot of times they're always found guilty. So-
That's
Well, Shannon, as a woman, let me ask you this. How do you feel about this possible confirmation? If you were in charge of, and you were a senator, we'll say senator, whatever your last
Well-
name is, what would you do?
I would vote against him. I'll vote against him myself, even though I'm just one person.
Vote no. Okay?
Absolutely.
Well, I want to thank you for that.
So during Dr. Blasey Ford's testimony, they brought the question up was should the FBI investigate these allegations? And I don't know what the outcome of it was, but Dr. Blasey Ford, I watched her testimony, and I watched part of Mr. Kavanaugh's testimony. And it's pretty crazy because, to go in court and purge yourself, you could end up in jail.
Exactly.
So here's my thing. One of them is lying.
Caller
And-
two
and-
will get to you.
one of them is lying, and like what's the results of this person being telling a lie? Will he have a chance of facing jail? No, he's not going to go nowhere near a prison. But it's pretty funny how, like, I don't know what to say, but he actually said that he never attempted to do that to anybody, but somebody's lying.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
And it comes down to a double standard. Like, he
That's
wouldn't
true.
face the consequences that somebody else would. It's because he's in politics. He's
Okay,
he's not
I,
just a regular guy.
I think
he ain't going to face the consequences like Bill Cosby. He got 3 years.
yeah. Oh, I thought he got 10.
No, I heard that he got 3.
Oh, I don't know. Well, Shannon, we have 2 other calls, but before you go, Shannon,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to call 1-202-225-3121.
Nice.
And everybody you know in the United States, ask them, because this is about our lives. And
It
with
is.
that, Shannon, I certainly don't want to rush you, but we do have a couple other calls. Thank you,
Okay.
Lord.
For
I
taking
need
my
the
call.
I
Bye,
need the
Al.
call.
Bye, Annette.
So-
God
Bye,
bless
Mike.
Good
you.
night, Shannon.
So
God
El,
bless you too.
if he is found guilty, El, what's
Hold on
what-
1 second.
Answer
Let's
that,
go to
El.
call number 2. I believe it is.
It's Diane. Can you
Okay,
hear me
well,
now?
Diane, I got to answer Mike's question real quickly, and then caller number 3. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, I'm.
What's the question?
What if he is lying, El?
Okay.
Does he face jail time?
I don't know.
I don't.
I believe it is a criminal offense to lie under oath. with the United
Exactly,
States Senate.
exactly.
But I will
Ex-
tell you, with the way the power game is, even if he's lying, I'm not going to guarantee you, but I highly suspect he won't face 3 seconds in jail.
Exactly. That's my point, El.
And,
That's
and
my
also, I'm going to be very blunt, because he's Caucasian.
point. Yeah, nice.
And that's nothing
Thank
to do
you.
with racism or
Thank you.
sexism or any of that.
Thank you.
It's the truth.
Thank you.
I'll give you an idea real quickly, a little sidebar. If you are addicted to crack cocaine in America, you get a much stiffer sentence than if you are actually addicted to normal, quote unquote, cocaine. There's a stiffer sentence. And the majority of people taking crack are not Caucasian, or at least back in the day they weren't. And a very famous comedian was arrested and given a pretty light sentence for cocaine. And that would be the guy from Home Improvement and whatever show he's on now. That would be Tim Allen, who just happened to be Caucasian. But hey, forget about it. And with that, Diane, what is your question?
No, what's his name? Kavanaugh, right?
Yeah, but before you go
wants to
there,
be
I
a
don't
judge.
want to forget about it. The fact is we have unfair, unequal justice.
Does he wanna
And
be
if
a
this
judge?
man gets in, it's going to be worse.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Go ahead, Diane.
Does he want to be a judge? He is going to be a judge, right?
Basically.
He will be if Americans don't step up and demand that he is not. We, the people, must
What
say
did
no.
he really do? The lady's picking on him? That lady there?
Well,
He is accused of multiple acts of sexual assault and perversions. That's basically. He also lied under oath, supposedly. And I can tell you
Well,
that if you
know
are a
what?
judge,
They-
you shouldn't
they
be
should-
lying.
If he's married, they should ask his wife.
Well, they may ask his wife, but the fact is a lot of people have
Or
said
his
he's
parents.
telling a lie.
You know, his parents, if they're still living.
I don't know. Can't answer that because I don't know. So do you have anything you want to say to Mike or Annette?
Well, how you doing, Mike?
hi.
What about
Miss
Annette? What
Diane.
does she chop
How you
chicken?
doing, Mike?
How you doing, Miss Diane?
So
I
what's
was-
new?
Not too much. I was just at the bus stop with your sister the other day, Rose.
Mike, don't
My
tell him that
sister
on
Rose, right?
TV.
Okay.
Okay, well, Diane, we have two other
wait
calls.
a minute. Wait, I understand that. You said talk to Mike.
I know, but we got to hurry up because we have two
I
other
know,
calls.
I'm going fast. So, Mike, are you sad because the Pirates didn't do good this year?
Yeah, I guess.
Ask me if I'm sad, and the answer
Well,
will
how
be
about
no.
you, Annette? What do you think about this Kavanaugh guy? Can she hear me?
Yes, she can hear
I
you.
think
the
he's a
world can.
jerk.
I didn't expect that, but that's a good one.
I don't think he should be appointed judge. Because what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Is he going to pardon other molesters?
No, he doesn't do the pardon.
I
That would
mean-
be the president's.
But that's
Well,
what was that was what
you
that's that that
How
was
do I know? Because I
absolutely
pay attention to
crazy.
detail.
Because I watched both testimonies and both of them were
I
very
don't think-
convincing.
I don't know.
But hell,
Do
somebody's
these people
lying.
want him
That's
to win
true.
or not to win?
I didn't hear you. What?
Do they want him to win or not to win this case?
Well, I want him not to be confirmed because I believe he's in danger to the country. But let's move on to the next
Really
call.
He's dangerous because we don't really know him.
Oh, he's
All
dangerous.
right, be careful
He is
out there and wear
dangerous.
that seatbelt.
He's very dangerous.
All right, bye.
See ya.
Let's go to caller number
3.
I guess. Caller number 3, you're on the air. Oh, we got more calls waiting. How you doing? Hello?
Luther, how you doing?
I didn't hear you. Say this again. Luther.
Luther, how are you?
How you doing? Luther Dupree in the house.
Yeah, I wanted to give you a call. I like your topic. I like the show. And no, he shouldn't be confirmed.
No.
I think it's a disgrace he's made it this far. I mean, if you look at his when he was, getting interviewed, his temperament, the language he used,
Exactly.
he just rubs me the wrong way. And I believe everything those women are saying.
Well-
I mean, he seems like that type of smug guy. And the more and more you hear
Mm-hmm.
come out, he should not have been nominated. But 45, he's getting away with doing whatever.
Okay, well,
you
Luther.
talk about lying.
That's true. And he's going to affect a lot of lives. Luther, here's what I need you to do. Get this number in your head, 1-202-225-3121. I want you to call Jeff Flake, and it's not that hard. You just call in and you say, I want to speak to Senator Flake or Collins, and tell them to please vote no on the confirmation of Kavanaugh because you believe there's too much conflict, and it's a matter of integrity. I'm asking
Right.
you and everybody in America to do that because, honestly, I will say this. Even if what he didn't do those things, the fact that how he acted in that court, what would he be
Exactly.
like as a judge? And the fact that he would
Exactly.
talk about conspiracy theories and all that, what would he be like as a judge? And we're talking about a man that will have the power through the other conservatives or what have you. They could potentially set this country back over 150 years. They could even,
Exactly.
they
And
could,
that's what 45 is trying to do.
yes,
I mean,
that
the
is,
lies
that
are
is.
going on is just disgusting right now.
And that's exactly
I
why
can't
they're
even say
fighting
his
for
name. I
him.
just call him 45 because it's just so disgraceful right now.
Well,
and
the
I don't
name
even think he should be allowed to nominate while he's under investigation.
Well, I think that I think this is a dog
That's
and
the
pony
real
show.
disappointing
So
thing.
the FBI chose to investigate? Is that
Yeah,
it? Is
Trump
that-
ordered a limited scope.
Unlimited, just the people that they approved to be interviewed. It's not even
Exactly.
a real investigation.
No, it's a
It
toy
should have been investigated
investigation.
beforehand.
It's a toy. It's a game.
That's sad.
It's
a
more of a game.
And they're going to go ahead and they're going to vote him in. And that's just more.
But you know what?
The disgrace of the nation continues.
Well, I'll say this. I'm going to make a bold prediction. I believe that we are going to go back 50 to 100 years if he gets in. And let me make a bold prediction, my fellow Americans. Those of you who want him confirmed, you are asking for the destruction of the United States of America. But let me make a very bold prediction. We will end up having, and I pray it's nonviolent, but my fellow Americans, we will eventually have a revolution. I hope it's legal. I hope it's through the ballot box, peaceful and financial. But make no mistake, if what they attempt to do comes to pass, my fellow Americans, we are talking about a nation that you soon will not recognize. We cannot allow this. We cannot allow this.
He's trying to turn it into Russia.
We cannot allow this.
North Korea. That's what he's trying to do. And you see all he talks about is praising those dictators.
Yeah,
Every time you turn around. Hey, but Al, I'm enjoying the show.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. Hey, wait a minute, time out. Let me get a shout out. Hey, everybody, it's still City Sports World, right?
Yeah.
All right, everybody, next week, Luther will be sitting here, and I'll be at home. And he'll be here next Wednesday live.
That's for sure. All right, Al.
All right, man, talk to you later. And then you got caller number 4 to get.
Number 4, you're on.
Caller number 4.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, this is Paul. How you doing?
How you doing, Paul? I don't remember hearing from you before.
I'm with Shannon.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I got a disappointment for you. I'm for Judge Kavanaugh.
That's all right, Paul. Okay.
Can anybody tell me concretely, dogmatically, categorically, what he has done wrong?
Well, for one, if you let me.
I mean, what's the objective truth about him?
Okay, well, Mike wants to comment on that.
Well, can I tell you that I've watched both testimonies, and that's it's kind of crazy because Dr. Blasey Ford, I swear to God, she was very convincing, very straightforward. I believe every word this woman said. And then Judge Kavanaugh, he comes on and he swears that he had never, ever attempted to sexually assault anybody. So here's the thing. Somebody's lying and they ought to be subjected to time in jail, but being that they're politicians, they'll never see inside of a jail cell.
I'm going to comment on your...
subjective. Do you know what subjective means?
Well, I understand what you're saying.
Like hypothesis.
Well, Paul.
Well, I guess.
Well, Paul, let me ask you this.
Objective is objective truth. It's absolutely true. What do we know that's absolutely true?
So, what benefit does she have to lie? What was Blasey Ford's intention of lying?
Why should we throw a good man down the sewer? Because some woman may have lied or may not have lied.
Okay, well, wait a minute.
So at this point, nobody knows.
Okay, but let me ask you this.
He just called him a good man.
And this man's public record is outspoken. He's a goody two-shoes.
Okay, but let me ask you this. If, in fact, he lied under oath about anything, do you believe a judge who knowingly lied to the United States Senate should be confirmed? If he lied about anything.
If he lied, he should be brought under prosecution.
Exactly. Well, I have a little something to tell you, Paul.
But we don't know that he lied.
Well, wait a minute now, Paul.
We don't know anything.
We don't know that. But can we say?
You don't know that either, brother.
Well, I don't know about that.
Ford looked bewildered, and like something did happen to her, but it might not have been Judge Kavanaugh.
Well, Paul, I respectfully disagree with you because I'll tell you why. I'm looking right here on my cell phone. There are people who know Judge Kavanaugh, and it says right here, if I were a senator, I would not vote to confirm Brett because many of them who know him actually said they know for a fact he lied under oath with regard to his drinking and having been drunk. So therefore, let us presuppose, let's just say,
He admits to drinking beer.
well, yeah, but he, number one,
He admits to liking it.
but he said he never passed out and he never was drunk. And
was never
they have
blacked
friends
out.
that said
That's what
that,
he said.
yeah, but some of his own people said he's lying. I just read a story that said he was lying from his own classmates, and some of his own friends are now saying it. So if in fact he's lying, do you still believe he should be a judge?
Well, we can't take one person's word for it. Because someone comes along now and says he did it, doesn't mean.
But what
he
if
did it.
he's
We
telling?
need
What if
concrete
that guy's
evidence
telling the
to
truth?
prove and further investigation.
Okay, all right. I'll agree with you on one thing. I do believe we need more investigation. However, they are narrowing it.
America prosecute people
Well, yeah, but we might need more investigation.
because he's unpopular. He's the unpopular candidate because he's a Republican.
I don't think that's the
because he's
reason.
this, 'cause he's that. There's a lot of people why people don't like Judge Kavanaugh.
Yeah, but what about you said there should be more of an investigation, right?
Yes.
Now, why is it that the president is not
Satisfy
doing that?
everything.
Okay, you did say that, right? We agree that you said.
To say we have concrete proof, and we're going to go with this. 'Cause
Okay,
this is
so
absolute. He absolutely didn't do it.
right. But what if they have concrete proof that he did something, at least lying under oath? Then what?
Well, Dr. Ford, the political party that she's affiliated with, and some of their agenda goes
But we don't really know that.
against Judge Kavanaugh, which is part of their agenda, not because he did anything wrong.
Well,
But
that may
their
or may not.
political agenda.
That may or may not be true. But let me let you
Well,
know.
this is what I heard, that these women have political agendas.
Some may, but here's the thing: there are other women who were actually friends with him, who were Republican, who've come forward now and said that he's lying. He's lying about his actions and his alcoholism.
Well, I know you're a good brother, and I know this.
What's that?
We need to pray about this matter.
Well, we can pray about it, Paul, but let me ask you this question. If, in fact, there were concrete proof that he lied under oath, would you still want him confirmed?
No, not if he lied.
Okay, and that's my point. What if he lied?
Well, you know, God said all men are liars.
That may be true, Paul, but not all of us are going to try to be on the Supreme Court of the United States.
Right. I mean,
You know what I mean?
What I'm saying is, the kid's got chocolate all in his face and says, "Was you in that chocolate cake?"
Yeah, that's
And
true.
he says, "No."
Well,
So
I
you don't
agree
have
with
to
you.
teach a kid how to lie or right from wrong.
No, I agree with you, and I'm glad you called in, Paul, and I'm actually glad you argued with me a little bit
I
and
just want to be
disagreed.
a sensible voice and say, let's pray about this.
Okay, we can agree to do that, but I want you to keep an open mind with regards to the fact that he may be lying.
You know, I'm open to all things.
Okay, as long as you're open,
You know,
that's
I
all
get
that I'm asking
confirmation
for.
in my soul.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's true. We don't know. But if it's a limited investigation, Paul, and Trump has made it a limited investigation, do you feel that that should be limited, or do you feel that that was wrong?
I have no opinion on that.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Paul, we do have another
I don't
call
know if it
coming
was
in.
right or wrong.
You don't have
I
an
don't know what
opinion
the
either way?
procedures are.
Okay.
These nominations are being nominated.
Right.
We've seen what happened to Clear and Thomas with Anita Hill.
Right.
You know, that was disgraceful.
It was.
That was disgraceful what they did to Clarence Thomas.
It was also disgraceful what he may have done too, though.
Well, you know what? He was confirmed. She was found to be a liar. She lied. She craved the limelight. She's been on all the reality shows, and she wanted her career to take off, and it didn't take off.
Well, I can only comment that I don't recall her ever being declared a liar, but I will say this. Sexual assault on anyone and molestation on anyone is hideous.
It's hideous.
And anyone who does that, in my opinion, they should face extreme consequences and be in prison for the rest of their life.
Or
That's my opinion.
castration.
That's
Yeah.
my opinion. But we do have another call, so we're going to
Okay.
go to that, Paul. And Paul, are you still listening on the internet?
Yeah.
Oh, don't leave, Paul. Don't leave now. I mean, we got to go to the next call. But
Everybody got to say.
all right, well, we'll keep saying it, and we're going to go to the next call before the next call smacks me
All right,
upside
God
the head.
bless you, brother.
God bless you.
Okay.
And what caller number is this? 5?
5.
Yeah.
Caller number 5. You get it.
Hey, caller number 5, you're on.
Hi, Mike. This is Annette, and oh my gosh, I'm starting to forget.
She doesn't remember me.
Remember your name.
She don't remember me.
I'm having a senior moment.
Uh-oh, well, get a junior moment and remember my name.
Hi, Annette. Hi, Mike. Hi, Al.
Hi, who is this?
It's Patty.
It's Miss Patty.
Hi,
It's
Patty.
Okay.
No, I don't think you're going to like my call either.
Oh, well, that's all right. Go for it. I'm
Okay.
ready for the call.
I don't want to be cross-examined, and I don't really want to talk about the
Right.
issue of Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
And the molestation. I watched the hearings.
Right.
The man, I don't think I believe the woman. She was crying
Right,
and
yeah.
getting sympathy. However, I can understand him. He's going to lose his whole, he's not going to, I mean, he'll lose his whole livelihood. Not that that matters. But what I want to bring up now is, in my opinion, my humble, godly opinion,
Yeah.
this is all about Roe v. Wade in 1978, and you claim, I mean, you love kittens. You didn't want a kitten to die.
Right.
My heart breaks for these little children that God says are knitted in the womb of a mother. God knits them in the womb of the mother. God knows them as
Right.
they're knitted in the womb of the mother. I'm getting very
I agree. I
understand.
agree with you 100%.
and like, so, I mean,
Calm down.
and
It's okay.
and the
I
women of this
understand.
world believe that he is going to turn around Roe v.
Right.
Wade, which I think most women, and I shouldn't give my opinion, but most women are using this as a birth control method. They're killing little children.
Yes.
I mean, you showed the pictures of those beautiful kittens. The
Yes.
little children are dying
I
every
know,
day, and
I
they
know.
steal, in my humble opinion, they steal everything, especially when it's past,
Yep.
what,
And
I don't
I
know,
know.
6 months or so.
And
They
it's
steal being
It's
pulled out of
horrible.
the womb. They steal it, just like
Yes.
that little kitten you
They-
showed.
yes, they
steal
do.
it. And the name of your show is Humanity Matters, Al. Humanity
Oh, I know.
Matters.
Well, you know, I'll tell you that I've always struggled with that issue. And years ago, we had a councilman in Pittsburgh. His name was Dan Cohen. He's a very good man. But I told him I didn't like his stance on abortion. He was pro-abortion or pro-choice. But I ended up voting for him for other reasons. With the matter of abortion, it is a very hard thing to deal with. If it was up to me, you know, every child would be born, every child would be adopted if they couldn't be with
Just
their
like
family.
your kittens, just like your kittens. And the reason I'm so emotional
It is hard.
is
It is
that
hard.
I'm so emotional because
Oh, I
I mean,
understand.
I was raised Catholic, of course, that's not why I'm against abortion. But I became a born-again Christian.
Oh, I understand all that.
Miss,
Several years later, and I studied the Bible. I really do, and it talks a lot about God knowing us from the moment we're knit in our
Right.
mother's womb. And I had a friend who was a Christian and got pregnant, and you get scared, of course, and the dad doesn't want to marry you, and
Right.
and she thought about having an abortion, and she made it an appointment, and the night before, she had such a vivid dream, and she released knowledge was from God that about the whole abortion and the baby being ripped from her womb.
yes.
And so she couldn't go. She went through. She had the baby, and relinquished the baby for adoption. She didn't see the baby in the hospital, but she wanted to see the baby. I mean, a mother is a mother is a mother, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
A month later, she went to see the baby in the place
Right.
that the baby was waiting to be adopted. And the baby was so beautiful. And this woman said to herself, I almost killed you, which is the truth. I mean, that would be like you picking that little gray
That's true.
kitten up and strangling that little gray kitten yesterday. You couldn't no more do that.
No, I wouldn't do
I
that.
know you
No.
couldn't. I'm
No.
sorry I'm getting emotional, but
No, it's okay.
but-
I just feel
but-
bad because you're getting emotional.
but hey, Miss Patty,
yes, Mike.
can I tell you one of the most horrible things I ever sat and watched in my life
Yes.
was on the Christian channel, and it was all about partial birth abortions.
rough.
Oh,
I never cried before like I cried. Little hands, little feet,
I know,
and like
I know.
in bowls, like
I
in
know.
bowls, and it's like, how do we expect God to continue to bless us when we're doing stuff like murdering kids? Come on, man. Our country's going down. I hate to say it, but
Oh, Mike, you're so right. And God is not going to bless America anymore, you know. And like, the one thing about Brett Kavanaugh from the very beginning, I don't know, months and months ago, was this fear that he would turn around Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, I know
And I'm
about
not
that.
saying I want him or not want him, but I don't want babies being killed. I don't want
No,
them
I
being
understand
killed.
that. As a matter of fact, I believe I brought this up years ago on my show. And unfortunately, I don't have a big enough audience yet. But I said there's a pro-choice movement, and I believe there's a pro-birth movement, but there's not really a pro-life movement. And I'll clarify what I mean. The problem with the pro-life statement is that many of these politicians, and from both parties, have made decisions that if a woman and a man decides to have the children, or a single mother, America is not doing all that it can for our children. We do not guarantee that every child will not starve to death. We do not guarantee that every child will not be homeless. We do not guarantee that every child will have access to medical care. We do not guarantee every child will have an education. So in fact, one of my sticking points I've always had with the Republican Party is their policies are pro-life.
Life.
I would not call it pro-life.
Pro-life.
Pro-birth.
Al,
No, they're-
pro-life.
I would say pro-birth. They're pro-birth. They want
Pro-life.
you to have the child, but a lot of their policies makes the child suffer throughout life.
So you say kill the child. Kill
No,
the, kill
no,
the,
I did not say
you
that.
could go into the boat and kill that kitten.
No, I did not say
Because
that.
the kitten,
No,
who
no.
knows what's going to happen to
No,
that
I
kitten.
didn't say that.
This is
No, I
a
would
life
have the
person.
child. I
This
would have the
person might
child.
be a genius. This person might cure cancer.
No, I didn't.
I'm sorry, I can't-
Patty, calm down.
I'm
never,
sorry.
Patty, do you really think I would want kids to be killed? Come on now. No, what I'm saying is we need to come together in a bipartisan way to change this whole paradigm and make it be the real pro-life. The women should be able to have the child, and the child should be able to have a good life. I favor children being born. I, for many years, was extremely pro-birth or pro-life, what they called it. But the reality is, I call it pro-birth. I believe there's a difference. If you're going to have the child, you should make sure the child has everything he or she needs. And our government should make sure of that.
Let me say one thing. I think people, and maybe your show could bring somebody on about adoption. I don't think people talk about it enough.
Well, we do need to do that. We need adoption. We need foster children.
If you go to any agency, maybe a Christian agency, you're allowed to tell them what kind of mother and father you want, what kind of religion you want them to bring up. I mean, it's open adoption now. You can even have time with your child, you know. I mean, I believe in adoption. It's a tragic thing to hand your baby over to another couple. It stays with you your whole life. You never forget it.
I understand that.
But nobody talks about adoption. Nobody.
No, I've spoken about adoption before, believe me.
Okay. I'm kind of a recent viewer, as you know.
Well, that's okay. But guess what? I don't believe this, but we have another call. So, Patty,
you're having a wonderful show.
Thank you, Patty.
Thanks,
I
Patty.
hope God blesses your show. Bye, Al.
Thank you, Patty.
What number is this? Number 6?
6.
Caller number 6, are you there? With regard to what Patty said, I believe in the real pro-life. Not pro-birth, but pro-life. And if it was up to me, every child would be born if women could safely have them born. And we should not have disposable children, which I agree, even though I believe a woman should be able to control her body, I also agree that there are people who use abortion as a form of birth control. And it's not a lie. I agree. What Patty doesn't realize is that when I spoke to that candidate years ago, I was very adamant against that. But what we need to do in this country is change the entire paradigm. We need to help women be able to want to have the children, and men, take some responsibility out there.
Yeah,
Very
that's
nice.
right.
Excuse my language for a minute. If you can pull your pants down, you can grow up. If you pull down the pants and you do a little dance, grow up. If you're not willing to take care of the child, keep your pants on.
Nice.
Yeah, keep it in your
Okay,
pants.
just keep it on. And women, no free pass. If the man is a jerk, the romance does not work. I'm going to say this one more time. If the man is a jerk, the romance does not work. What do I mean? If he is not responsible, don't touch him. Tell him to go fly something.
I guarantee you the 6th caller that called you them foul names, I would bet
Okay.
I would bet she had an abortion and she didn't like what what we were saying.
Bottom line is this. I love women. I love people. And the fact is, I don't want to see as many abortions. That being said, we need to help other people in this nation. Now, you know what I think is an abomination about any Supreme Court and Congress and presidents is that in America, my friends, we have children that the parents decide to have. We have children dying of starvation in America daily. Children die from starvation in America. You don't hear about it on the news because guess what?
They don't
it's not pretty.
Exactly.
And abuse and neglect.
We have abuse, we have neglect, we have children starving because their parents can't afford it. We have degradation and an abomination of policies in this country where we even have men and women who serve this nation that are homeless. and hungry.
And that's
So
sad.
America, here's what we're going to do. We're going to say no to Brett Kavanaugh. And next month, when we go on November the 6th, 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 2018, what are we going to do? We're going to vote them out. Anyone who doesn't care about the seniors, the children, and you, guess what? Y'all need to go. Now, let me make this clear because I only have about 30 seconds left. If you do not vote on November the 6th, if you don't register by Wednesday, tomorrow, you are not an American. You don't vote, get out of here. I love you, but I'm going to tell you something. Get out there and vote. No excuses. No, I can't vote. Get out. I don't care if you're 18 years old. Now remember, you get out there and you vote and vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. By the way, I'm not against Republicans. I'm just against Republican policy and certain Democratic policies. I ain't in love with either side. But remember, I still, in a larger sense, love them. And remember, everybody, I'm going to get mad at you sometimes. But remember that you and humanity and all forms of life really does matter. Vote, vote, vote.